Hi, I'm Paul and welcome to FamilyWheels.ca. This is our first ever review. It's an exciting day for me because this is a website that I've been thinking about for a while. I've got a young family of my own and I was looking around for a car a couple of years ago and I couldn't find a website dedicated specifically to family car reviews. I don't want to know about track speeds and how a vehicle does around the Nürburgring. I want to know about how it's going to be in day-to-day life around the city, whether it's got the leg room that we need in the back seat for things like a car seat, and whether I can haul something like a chariot and the family dog in the cargo area as well. So it's an exciting day. Thank you for tuning in. The first vehicle that we're going to look at is the BMW X1, which is right behind me here. The X1 has been around in the North American market since 2012, and it was in the European market long before that. So it's been around for a while, and it's BMW's entry-level SUV. It's meant to be a relatively cheap way for young families, people like us who are maybe considering getting into the luxury market for the first time, to dip our toes into that market without, blowing the wallet too much, which means that this vehicle is going to start off at around $37,000, which for a BMW badge really isn't that bad. It's based on BMW's E90 chassis, which is the old 3 Series sedan chassis for BMW. It's a tried and tested chassis, however, it does mean that it's meant to be more of a car than an SUV at the end of the day. In fact, it kind of has this funny no man's land kind of feel to it. Is it an SUV? Is it a station wagon? A crossover vehicle? I guess that's the segment that it's best considered for. Now here's the thing. With BMW, they wanted to get in relatively cheap into the market, so they did start with a $37,000 price point. However, you add taxes onto that, and you start to add extras in place, which a lot of us would kind of expect just to maybe become standard with a vehicle with the BMW badge, and all of a sudden the price starts to creep up. For example, this vehicle has the tech package, the sport package, and the premium package. All of those packages cost in and around $2,000, and all of a sudden the price starts to creep up on you. And it includes things like leather seats. You don't get real leather, you get faux leather with the base $37,000 price tag. And that's the sort of thing that honestly I would want to probably splurge on, because leatherette, that fake leather, doesn't do very well with young kids. You can't wipe it down as well, it stains, it marks up. So that would be a package. The premium package includes the leather, and it would be one that I'd consider. Now the X1 comes with 2 engine options. The 28i, which is what we're in today, it's a 4-cylinder, 2-liter twin-turbo engine, or you can also get it in the 35i, which is a 3-liter V6, also twin-turbo. Honestly, I do feel like the 4-cylinder is just fine for what this car is designed for, which is tooting around the city with a bit of highway driving. You're not going to use this thing for towing big packages, big boats or trailers, and the 4-cylinder feels just fine. The fuel economy on the 4-cylinder is around 7 liters per 100 kilometers on the highway, around 10 liters per 100 kilometers in the city. So that's right about in line with where the rest of the competition would be in this segment. Safety-wise, BMW uses their X-Drive system in every one of their X1s. That's their all-wheel drive system that has been used for years now, and you're going to get 60% of power to the rear wheels, 40% of power to the front wheels. And that gives it a nice, even feel when you're driving around the city day to day. Safety-wise, this vehicle did fairly well with the IIHS. It got a good overall rating, however, it did get a moderate test rating in the small front overlap category. But overall, you got to feel pretty safe driving this car around. So we were just chatting a little bit about what you're looking for in a car and whether you think this kind of has the check boxes. What do you think?
No, I feel like it's too, like the cargo space is not enough for our needs, and we only have 1 kid. Like, you think most families with children have, it seems like, 2 would be the average thing. Like with all of their stuff, and then if you stop for groceries or something, I don't know, it just would be very tight.
So the big question, of course, would I buy this vehicle? And you know what? I've got to say no at this point, because for a family car, once you start adding in the features that somebody who's buying a BMW brand vehicle actually wants, things like leather seats and a sunroof, for example, you're getting into a pretty expensive car, about $50,000, and you can get a lot of Subaru Forester or even an Audi Q5, for example, which is a slightly larger vehicle. If you are stuck on the BMW brand, maybe consider sticking around and going to the X3. For an extra $6,000, you get a much larger and more premium vehicle as well. Or if you're thinking to yourself, it's still too big, I want to stick around and I want to consider the X1. Another thing you might want to keep in mind is the X1 for 2016 is getting a from the ground up revamp. That means that everything from the chassis to the seats to the dashboard are going to get reconsidered and redesigned. Talking to the dealership that gave us this vehicle for the day, BMW Gallery here in Calgary, they said that vehicle should be arriving on their lot sometime in the fall. And maybe they'll get rid of that really stiff hydraulic steering because they are replacing it with electric steering, which is going to make it a little less cumbersome in tight parking lots. You do have to muscle your way through parking lots with this vehicle. So all in all, given the fact that it doesn't have a heck of a lot of rear legroom, the cargo space is a bit lacking, and the fact that it is coming out with a complete redesign for 2016, stick it out and see what they're doing for the new year. It should be a larger vehicle and maybe a little bit more interesting as well to drive. Thanks so much for checking out FamilyWheels.ca. I hope you check back in again soon. This is going to be the website for you in terms of family car reviews with families in mind. So stick with us and please let me know what you think of this video.